Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day to all of you. We're going to be learning all about the upcoming program here at the University of Pennsylvania, Wharton Executive Education. This program is in marketing analytics. So harnessing the power of data to drive success. So as you think about marketing, there are many different verticals of which to explore. And this program here at the Wharton School is one of the foremost programs exploring the analytics side of marketing and how best to use data in order to make better business decisions. We have a lot of exciting things in store to share with you here today. I'm joined by a keynote subject matter expert who's here to tell us all about the content of this program, what you'll be learning. We're also going to be touching in on how you'll be learning. So for those of you who are attending to learn more about the logistical pieces, the dates, the time, the scheduling, rest assured we're going to be getting to all of that as well. And we're also going to be highlighting the ways in which this program is designed to keep you engaged and interactive throughout your time in the program. So a lot in store here. The question and answer box, that's going to be available for you to use throughout the session as well. And that's a place for you to put any questions that you'd like to see answered. And certainly this program is being offered in 2 languages, Spanish as well as English. So we'll tell you all about that and where you can go to find out more information. So as we dive in, now is the time where I have the honor and pleasure of introducing today's keynote subject matter expert and star of the show, Nathan David. Nathan, would you like to pop in and say hello to our audience today?
Thanks so much, Marie. I'm very happy to be here with everybody today. I'm a program leader, which I'll talk a little more about what that means, but I have a background in marketing and marketing analytics. I have over 10 years of experience in marketing at Fortune 500 companies, all the way down to marketing for small businesses and family friends. So I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of insights to share, and I love to hear where you're coming from and what you're looking to learn more about. So we'll talk a little more about what the program looks like in a little bit, but that's a little about my background.
Thank you, Nathan, and we're certainly happy to have you here with us today. But as Nathan said, we want to set the stage for you before we dive too deeply into the content here. This is a community that you're joining here at the Wharton School. So you're going to get to know Nathan here on the call today. And throughout your time in the program, a big part of what you'll be doing is getting to know your peers, your colleagues, and this broader community here at the Wharton School. So setting the stage here, the first thing we wanted to do was introduce you to the school in a little bit more detail and tell you more about this ecosystem that you're joining here at the Wharton School in this program. So as many of you know already, the Wharton School was the very first collegiate business school ever. So certainly it rests on a history of being the forefront educational leader when it comes to combining the various cross-disciplinary aspects of business education. And certainly we do that here at the Wharton School, which is recognized globally across the world for its intellectual leadership and ongoing innovation. So one of the things you can expect from the school is you're joining this large alumni population here, this global community full of incredible wealth of knowledge housed within the alumni, as well as the faculty here at the Wharton School, which is one of the most published faculties of any school. As you think about business transformation, the Wharton School is really at the forefront of creating that economic and social value around the world. Each year, the school attracts 5,000 undergraduate, MBA, executive MBA, and doctoral students, along with 13,000 participants in executive education programs. So that's a powerful alumni network of 99,000 graduates every single year. This is the community that you're joining. And of course, these are folks who are driving change, who are driving transformational change. And the school is set up in such a way where the pedagogical approach to delivering business education is one in which that allows you to bring to life your learning in the real world. And so that's one of the things you'll find in this program here. This is one of 50 online programs from which to choose here at the Wharton School, with more than 3 million learners worldwide. So as you think about this program in particular, we wanted to set the tone for you. This is the Dean of the Wharton School, Dean Erica James, and she talks about this idea of change here in this mission statement. Today's environment means you can't afford to simply respond to or manage change, but the best businesses must anticipate and even intentionally create change. so as not to become complacent. So as you think about being at the forefront of transformational learning at Wharton, Dean Erica James describes, we are the partner to help get you there. And certainly this program is a partnership in helping you to drive that innovation and that transformational growth within your personal and professional lives and organizations. So as you think about this program in particular, marketing analytics, why is this an important and relevant topic to be thinking about? Why now? Certainly, as many of analytics is a huge part of marketing activities, being able to integrate customer data collected from across various product lines and channels to increase sales and to know what direction to go in. But marketers are unable to optimize this data if there are analytics technologies or skill gaps in their organization. So that's where this program was developed. When employees are equipped with the right analytic tools, they can make better decisions, and that's going to lead to higher profits. And so this program has been designed to help bridge those skills gaps within your professions and within your organizations as you think about better incorporating big data into your regular cadence of decision making and into that overall strategic growth within your organization. Some statistics that we wanted to share with you. The marketing analytics market was valued at $2.13 billion in 2020 and is expected to grow. So as you think about gaining these skills in terms of your professional advancement, certainly there's a lot of rich opportunity in the job market for skill related to marketing analytics. Technology spending accounts for the largest proportion, 26.2% of marketing budgets. So budgets are being geared more and more towards spending accounts in technology. 6 out of 10 global CMOs state that analytics is among their top 5 priorities. So none of this is new information. Most of you are here because you know this already. There's a need here for stronger analytic assessments within our organizations as we think about driving change and transformation. So this program in particular was designed for any professional who can benefit from leveraging a customer-centric lens around advancing your analytics capabilities. So if you touch anywhere on that product life cycle, whether it's growth strategy, marketing practice, this program is right for you. And there are no prerequisites. So as you think about what level of knowledge and experience do I need to have in order to be successful in this program was designed to give you that comprehensive scope end to end. So there are no prerequisite experience required. If you're a marketing manager, a business or data analyst, a general or business manager, a product or brand manager, and you're looking to use analytics in strategic ways to optimize your impact, this program was designed for you. And certainly for those of you who are aspiring C-suite executives, this is crucial to your toolkit in helping to make better decisions for your organization. So that gives you that high-level snapshot of who this program was designed for. The course faculty who have been brought together, there's an incredible wealth of knowledge housed within Wharton faculty, and you have 3 co-authors of this program, 3 faculty members. Firstly, Eric Bradlow here, who's a professor of marketing, as well as the vice dean of analytics at the Wharton School, at the helm of the curriculum here today. So his research interests include Bayesian modeling, statistical computing, and developing new methodologies for unique data structures. So certainly a lot of expertise that's been specialized and folded into this program. That's Professor Bradlow's background here. You can see he's joined by Ryan Dew. Dr. Dew's research interests are also in marketing analytics, data-driven design, decision support, and preference measurement. He explores machine learning. So if you're interested in those components, they're incorporated in the program as well as statistical methodologies for solving real-world challenges. And then finally here, Professor Iyengar, who's the faculty director of Wharton's Customer Analytics program, the world's most prominent academic research center focusing on the practice of data-driven business decision-making. So when we say an incredible wealth of knowledge housed within Wharton faculty and making that available to each and every one of you, this is what we mean, truly remarkable thought leaders here in the area of marketing analytics, putting their heads together to design this program for you. So with that, I'm going to turn the spotlight over now to Nathan David to take us through this overview, to give us that more details on the curriculum and what you can expect to learn from week to week. So with that, I warmly invite into the spotlight today's keynote subject matter expert, Nathan David, to tell us more about the program. Thanks again for being here with us, Nathan. Over to you.
Thanks so much, Marie. Welcome, everyone. Now let's get into the meat of the program, what you can expect, what my role is, what your role is in this whole process. So as mentioned, I'm a program leader. There's multiple different program leaders for this specific program through Wharton, but I am one of them. What does a program leader do? I am there with you in the trenches, day to day, week to week, as you go through the program. And I'm there for any questions, any concerns, any opportunities, any ideas that you want to bounce off of someone. I'm there, and I'm dedicated to working with you through this learning journey. And I love this role because I get to take my experience working for real world companies and help you cultivate and execute for whatever you're looking to do in your career, whether it's starting a new business, whether it's getting a promotion, planning out a big project for your organization, whatever it is, I'm here and I'm at your disposal to help you with that as we go through the program. I'm not the only one, as I mentioned, there's other ones, and all of us are industry experts. We have background. We've done this stuff for real companies. We know what we're talking about, and we can help you if you're trying to get it up and going at your organization or your own personal company or personal brand. So when you enter this program, you might have some of these high-level questions around marketing and how marketing is changing. For example, what roles do new technologies play in the modern marketing landscape? This program touches on that. Also, how can I shift from merely measuring data to using data for its predictive value? This is so important, right? A lot of times we do what's called descriptive analytics, meaning that we're just looking back into the past and we're describing what happened. But how much more valuable are those analytics if we're being predictive and we're forecasting what might happen in the future? You can really be a pivotal employee, an advisor, or consultant if you're able to predict where things are going using analytics. Other questions: how can I make profits one customer at a time through a customer lifetime value approach? I'm going to get a little more into this. That's one of the central themes of this program, focusing on the customer, not just on the product. And finally, how can I design a product or bundle of products that meets both customer needs and demands? So it's not about just creating products and pushing them out into the world. It's about understanding intimately your customers, what their needs are, how you can solve their problems, and then craft products and services around those insights that you've obtained. So with that, let's move into an overview of the program. There are 6 different modules within the program, and within those modules, the goal is to teach you these things. We want to teach you how to collect and use consumer level data. This is important. Every organization needs to be able to use consumer level data and extract insights from it. We also are teaching you how to apply statistical tools to design new projects. There's a lot of different statistical tools that we talk about. We talk about correlation analysis and regressions. We talk about conjoint analysis. We talk about machine learning, and we talk about how can you use these tools at your organization. Really, we want to provide these signposts for you so you know this is what conjoint analysis is. And when a problem emerges at your organization, you can say, you know what, we need to do a conjoint analysis because I know what it is and I know how it can be helpful in this specific situation. We want you to understand how to strategically determine price. So not just randomly select a price or base it off of your gut feeling, but actually look at the numbers and optimize for profitability. And so set that price so you get the optimal demand for the profits that are going to come in at the end. We want to empower you to experiment and solve problems. So we provide you with an iterative process to experiment and discover what's right for your organization. I can't give you a blanket best practice and say every organization must do this. Every organization must price their products 1 cent less than their closest competitor. I can't give you that recommendation because every organization's customers, every industry is different. And so you need to be able to experiment and find out those answers through your own analysis and looking at your own data in your own customers. We talk about applying multi-touch attribution, and we want you to be able to understand how to apply that to the marketing efforts that you're doing. And finally, we want you to understand, this is an important takeaway, the privacy policies that are being enacted by governments right now, like GDPR and CPA within California, and understand the ethics behind them and how you comply with these different policies and avoid pitfalls, fines, and bad will from customers if those privacy policies are violated. Moving to the next slide. I alluded to the 6 modules, and those 6 modules are each designed to last a week. And so module 1 is week 1, 2 is week 2, and so on and so forth. What I really love about this program is that throughout all 6 modules, you're working on what we call a playbook. And the playbook is, just as it sounds, a playbook for you to apply at your organization. And so module by module, we go through different learnings, different theories, different tools. And then each week, at the end of that module, you go into your playbook and you answer targeted questions. You come up with initiative ideas, so different projects you can pursue at your organization. So by the end of the 6 weeks, at the end of the 6 modules, you're going to be able to go back to your organization and say, this is what we should do next. This is the next project we should pursue. This is how we apply this to our organization. And so this is more than just a learning process. It's a learning and application process. I believe strongly that you learn best by doing. And so you're going to learn this. You're going to create an implementation plan for your organization for different ideas and initiatives that you come up with. And then ideally, after the program or while the program's happening, you're going to implement it at your organization, at your startup, for your personal brand, whatever it might be. And so that can reinforce what you've learned. So I want this to be more than just education to the side of everything else you're doing. It's education that is applicable to what you're doing in your job. And that playbook is really how we make that concretely something that you can take and move into your career. We want to provide value in education and value in application to your organization and to your personal career goals. So let's dive into the specific modules. What are we going to dive into? These professors have done a phenomenal job putting together this curriculum. And so it's broken into modules, of course, but the professors each have 2 modules. So the first 2 modules are from Bradlow, and Professor Bradlow does a phenomenal job of setting the tone of the course and helping us understand why marketing analytics, why is this so important, and what is the paradigm shift that's happened. So module 1 is all about modern marketing and what makes marketing very different than how marketing has been in the past. We used to be focused on what was product-centric marketing. And so we would focus in on the product. So think of the Model T at Ford. You would focus in on that specific product and you would say, we're going to push out as many Model Ts as possible. And we would look at profits. We would look at profitability, sustainability on a product level. So we would say this version of the Model T is doing well, and so we're going to keep it. But let's say a new release of that product didn't do as well. We would remove that product because that product was not profitable. But instead, the paradigm has shifted, and now we're focused on customers. And we're focused on, is the customer a profitable customer? In comes customer lifetime value. And Bradlow does a great job of introducing customer lifetime value and explaining what that is and how you can apply it to your organization. So rather than looking, is this product or that product profitable and should we continue with it, you're instead centered around the customer. And by centering around the customer, and if customers are profitable or not, you can uncover maybe niche products that aren't profitable when you look at the product alone, but when you look at that customer, they really love that niche product, and then they buy a bunch of other stuff. So we want to make sure we have that niche product, because then we can have more customers that have higher lifetime values. So that's what the first module is all about. And Brad Lowe articulates this using a lot of case studies. And so right away, you're being introduced to a lot of different case studies, organizations who have done this effectively. They've shifted their mindset from product-centric to customer-centric, and they've applied it and been successful. And I love to learn from people who've done it, because that really ignites ideas for you and how you can apply it to your organization. So that's what the first module is all about, that mindset shift from product-centric to product-centric, and then also giving you example after example of big companies. And later on, I'm going to talk through the different case studies that are included within this program. Module 2 is also by Professor Brad Lowe, and he walks us through the concept of segmentation. Everybody's familiar with segmentation, I would imagine, if you've been in marketing. And segmentation is all about understanding who your audience is, right? Your audience isn't everyone. No product can be made to satisfy everyone. And if it was, it would be so generic, it wouldn't be something that you can market. And so segmentation is important, understanding the different segments of individuals that behave specifically and uniquely, and then understanding which segments you should pursue. He gets into how do you understand what then you have a target market, you have that segment that you're pursuing. How then do you understand what that segment wants and what is more valuable to them than something else? To do this, we dive into conjoint analysis, and conjoint analysis is a great tool that you can use at your organization. And it's a way for you to simulate rather than having to build the whole product. So let's say I was building in the course, it's gas stations. And so let's say I was building gas stations and I had 100 different gas stations with different features. One had a bathroom, the other one didn't have a bathroom. One, the gas pumped quicker, one, the gas didn't pump as quick. One was yellow, one was red, whatever it might be. And so you have to create all these different gas stations with all these different features instead of having to actually build all these different experiences and seeing how people interact with them. You can use a conjoint analysis, which is an advanced statistics way of doing a survey. And you basically present those customers with different variations of gas stations with different features, and you determine which one is ideal. And so this conjoint analysis can be applied to so many different things: product features, services, the service level, if you're going to give more or less, response time, a bunch of different things. And before you even invest the time and energy and money into creating something, you can do a conjoint analysis and understand what your customers, what your target segment is really looking for. So that's what Module 2 is all about. Getting into Module 3 and Module 4. This is when Professor Eingard starts leading us through pricing as well as experimentation. So Module 3 is all about pricing analytics, and price is such an important component of marketing. If you think back to the 4 Ps, right? You have product, place, promotion, and price. So price is one of the 4 main things that you need to do for marketing. And so this module is talking about, yes, we have to do pricing and we need to do it well. How do we determine the optimal price for our products? A lot of times organizations will look at competitors. They will use gut feelings. They'll look at historically what they've priced things as and try to determine if they should increase or decrease it, but they don't have hard numbers behind the prices that they're setting. And so what we do in this module is provide you with the skills to determine ideal pricing. And you can look at historical data to determine that. You can also do conjoint analysis if you don't have historical data to determine what price is that breaking point where if you increase it anymore, you're going to get less profits in the end. So you want to be right at that sweet spot. So how do you determine that sweet spot? That's what Professor Eingard talks about in Module 3. getting into module 4, we talk about experimentations. And experimentation is all about how you form an environment where you can get a true correlation to something. And I said that wrong, not correlation, better than correlation, causation. And so a lot of times we talk about correlation. So as temperature goes up, people eating ice cream goes up. That's correlated. But ideally, the gold standard is to show that it's caused, so that the higher temperatures cause people to eat more ice cream. And so in business, we want to know that, right? Does my email that I sent to them cause them to become a customer? That's the gold standard. That's where we want to be. And so Iyengar talks about how we can set up experiments and fundamentally understand what causes what. And this is so important, especially in the digital age where experimentation is made more easily with A/B testing tools and technologies like this. Of the entire course, module 3 and module 4 are most analytics heavy. And so this is where we're getting into Excel, crunching some numbers, doing some correlation, and determining those optimal prices. And so for those of you who want to get your hands dirty, this is your opportunity to really do some of that hands-on analytics and implementation work. Moving to module 5 and 6, this is where Professor Du chimes in, and he leads us through multi-touch attribution as well as the new frontiers of marketing. So analytics and multi-touch attribution in module 5 is about understanding how people are getting to your website or your digital properties, whether it's a website, a mobile app, wherever you're sending people online or on their mobile devices. And so we talk about conversion funnels. We talk about the different steps in attribution models that people take and apply at their organizations. So do I weigh most heavily the first interaction someone has with my brand or the last interaction someone has with my brand? If I want to be really fancy and do machine learning attribution, how do I do that? They talk about that, and Ryan Du does a great job of explaining multi-touch attribution and how you would apply that to your organization, as well as analytics in general and how that's applied to your organization. So this is really important in the digital age. We have so much data, but we want to think about attribution and what deserves the most credit. Does that email deserve the most credit? Should we do more email? Does that display ad deserve the most credit? Or does that billboard we have on the side of the road deserve the most credit? So we talk about those different things and how we attribute credit to those various channels that we're pursuing. Finally, and what I think is super fun, we're looking forward into what is the future of digital marketing. And specifically, we talk about artificial intelligence, AI, natural language processing, as well as ethics. And so just quick download of AI, natural language processing, and machine learning, just to give you some structure of what are we talking about and what does that all mean. AI is an umbrella term. So artificial intelligence covers all the different things that you can do when you augment and use machines to augment what you're doing for marketing. Under AI, there's a whole subsection called machine learning. So machine learning is a subsection of AI. Also under AI, a subsection is neural networks, which you might have heard of. So what we're diving into in this course is AI, machine learning, and then we talk about machine learning, and then we dive even deeper into machine learning, and we talk about natural language processing, sometimes called NLP. But that leverages machine learning. And so why do we do that? It's because machine learning is the most commonly applied artificial intelligence to marketing tactics, projects, technologies. And so that's why we're diving into it. We talk about machine learning, the different aspects of machine learning. We dive into natural language processing, which is all about you have a block of text and how do you understand that block of text, or how do you create something from that block of text. A great example is doing sentiment analysis on social media. So a lot of people may be talking about your organization on social media. You can use natural language processing and taxonomy coupled with it to understand the sentiment of those posts. So you can see that 9 in every 10 posts is positive. And so only 1 out of every 10 individuals is saying something negative about your organization. So that would be great. Or you might find out the inverse, and there might be an opportunity for you to improve things. And so that's machine learning and NLP, natural language processing. We also talk about ethics and the ethics that surround machine learning and NLP, but also the ethics that are now emerging around consumer privacy and data privacy, especially with GDPR in the European Union and CCPA in the US. These are regulations that are now on the books in both the European Union and in the US that say that you need to be compliant with specific data protection initiatives. So this is very important. These regulations are the boundaries, right, that us as marketers need to stay within, but we also need to have our finger on the pulse of where those regulations might go, because if they change, we might have to change some of the marketing we're doing. A great example is cookies, and the fact that cookies, which are a tracking mechanism for the internet, third-party cookies are basically gone. So they're gone, and they were used very heavily by a lot of different organizations. So those organizations needed to figure out a different way to track people other than using cookies. That's just one example. I could talk about it all day, but I think it's so interesting, and I'm excited that Ryan can walk us through this module, and I'm excited for you to share your thoughts about where marketing is going as well. So moving to the next slide. There are several different case studies, as I mentioned, that are included within this course. And I love learning by example, because if Kohl's does something with smartphone technology, I can think, okay, what if my business did that? And you can put yourself in their shoes, and you come up with a lot of great ideas that way. So there's case studies from Kohl's, Netflix, Amazon, American Express, Shell. I want to point out that Kohl's and Shell, right, we don't think of them as digital and analytics organizations. And so these case studies I especially like, because they talk about how these organizations that don't hold that mind space of being technological and digital, how they're implementing digital, and they have been successful with implementing digital exercises and marketing analytics exercises as well. I will pass it back to Marie, who's going to talk a little about program experience.
Thank you so much, Nathan, for being here with us and taking us through the content of this program. We're going to shift over now to talking a little bit more about some of the more tactical components of this program, that day-to-day experience. What is it like in real terms to be a participant here in this program? The first thing we want to highlight for you, there's a lot of sort of icons on your slide here, but the first thing we want to talk through is this pedagogical approach that we call bite-sized learning. So I'm just going to highlight this for you here. Bite-sized learning is one of the ways in which this program allows you to fully immerse yourself in the process of learning as you go in real time and on your own, at your own pace. So what you'll find is that there's a user-friendly platform that contains a variety of different activities. These are blended. There are synchronous activities, meaning that you're getting together in real time with your peers and your teaching team. And there are also asynchronous activities. So much of what's on the screen here, the crowdsourcing, real world examples, triad activities, case study analysis, assignments, knowledge checks, peer-based learning, all of these components are happening in an asynchronous manner. And what that means is that you're able to touch into these activities on demand. So you'll be able to watch a set of video content on demand on a schedule that works for you, and then step away from that learning, that sort of bite-sized learning where you're grasping these new concepts, and really tinker with those ideas through a variety of activities described here. The assignments really helping you to bring to life these concepts in your organization, in your life. There are crowdsourcing, knowledge checks, triad activities, other components that allow you to really tinker with these ideas. Once you fully immerse yourself in that set of learning, you then go back and you watch the next set of video content. So we call this bite-sized learning, a way that you can really learn, again, at your own pace and bringing concepts to life in real time. This is something that we can do online that is difficult to do in a traditional classroom. In a traditional classroom, you have so many seats in the room and so many minutes to get through a certain set of curriculum. And so you drive through it. In the online world, we're able to break down those barriers of space and time. We can open up this course to all of you from across the globe, and we can do so in such a way that doesn't constrain you around having to get through a tremendous amount of content in a small amount of time, but really allowing you to pace yourself as you go. And so we know what we know works well in the neuroscience of adult learning is a chance to participate as an agent of your own learning, and to do so in this reciprocal environment where you're contributing as well as receiving knowledge. So this program is not a MOOC, massive open online course, MOC. It is not a massive open online course where you're simply digesting new knowledge. Rather, this is a highly specialized cohort model of learning that really allows you to step through the material with your peers. Now, if you were with us at the beginning of the session, many of you shared your geographies, where you're dialing in from. We were represented here today by Ohio, Chile, Peru, Ecuador, and many other regions from across the globe. So as you think about your learning with your peers, one of the key assets of this program is immediately upon entering the program, you're broadening out your professional network, you're gaining peers and colleagues from across the globe, and they're adding value to your learning experience. So you're able to see how these concepts and theories apply in your work, in your geography, in your industry, in your professional job function. But in learning shoulder to shoulder with a global cohort of peers, you are getting that broadened scope of understanding as you see these same concepts come to life for your peers and colleagues from across the globe. So you'll see them coming to life in other geographies and other industry areas and other job functions, really giving you that sort of tapestry of ideas, that broadened lens and that broadened perspective. So you're able to dive deeply through bite-sized learning in this fully immersive learning experience, and you're able to gain that broadened perspective in learning shoulder to shoulder with your peers. So it's truly a beautiful learning model that we've developed here at the Wharton School to ensure that you have the very best learning experience, this nice blend of asynchronous opportunities, allowing you to touch on the content in real time around a schedule that works for you, giving you a high level of convenience, while also keeping those synchronous components, those chances for you to interact live with your peers and your teaching team. So we have a nice blend of both here. At some of the synchronous sessions, I'm going to circle for you here. Firstly, we have these live faculty sessions. So we introduced you to your course faculty a moment ago, your 3 course faculty members who designed the curriculum. They'll be conducting live faculty learning sessions where you'll be able to come in and learn straight from the source, get your questions answered, and have that reciprocal learning environment with these world-renowned leading experts in marketing analytics. You also have an opportunity for live office hours. So in addition to your peers and colleagues and your course faculty, you also have program leaders such as Nathan David, who's here with us today. These are industry experts, practitioners who've been selected by the Wharton School to come in and serve as your teaching fellows, your day-to-day guides, helping to push your thinking, drive engagement. Your program leaders give you individualized feedback on your assignments. They're on the discussion boards with you and your colleagues. And of course, they host these live office hours, which are just such a critical part of your learning, a chance for you to turn on your audio and your visual and engage in real-time discussion with your teaching team. So what we've described for you here thus far is many different layers of teaching and learning that are taking place throughout your time in the program. You have yourself as an individual learner. A layer beyond you, you have your peers who you're learning together with and from. A layer beyond that, your program leaders, Nathan David, really at the helm of that day-to-day experience. This is someone you can reach out to for additional resources or questions and really get that customized learning experience throughout your time in the program. From there, you have your program faculty, your 3 faculty here who are hosting live sessions, teaching you in real time. A layer beyond that, the Wharton School, we talked about this alumni community that you're joining. And of course, all of this housed together by a 24/7 program support team there to respond to any of your needs at any point in time. So certainly a lot of support and a lot of relationship building available as you make your way through this learning experience. All of this culminating in a chance for you to earn a certificate of completion from the Wharton School. This is a certification, a credential from the University of Pennsylvania, the Wharton School. You can put this on your LinkedIn profile, write about it on your resume, print it out and bring it in with you to a job interview. But certainly it helps to showcase your learning and formalize your training. So for those of you looking to springboard into career advancement opportunities, certainly having a credential here in marketing analytics from the Wharton School is going to go a long way in helping you to achieve those professional advancement goals. So this is our last and final slide here of the day. As you can see here, this is a snapshot of our course website. You may have already gone to our course website. Here's the link here on the side of your screen. So open the chat, you're going to find that link. So if you open up that link and you go over to the course website, you'll see it looks very similar to what you see here on your screen. This is a picture of the website. And if you click on this red Apply Now button, it's going to invite you to put in your contact details and schedule a one-on-one appointment with an academic advisor. So we talk a lot about the relationships that you build in this program, your program leaders, your faculty, your peers, all of that activity, those relationships begin right here, right now with today's informational session. So we want to make sure before you get off the call today, you are linked up one-on-one with one of our academic advisors. These are our course academic advisors. They are waiting to hear from you. And the fastest way to connect with them is to go using that link there in the chat to go over to the website and schedule an appointment right there using that red Apply Now button. You can also reach out via email. Notice there's an email address for the Spanish speaking audience. That's latam.wharton@emeritus.org. And for the English speaking audience, if you prefer to reach out by email, you can use the address wharton@emeritus.org. So feel free to either use email or go over to the course website to get connected there with an academic advisor. So as you're looking ahead across these 6 weeks, you're looking to identify that 4 to 6 hour time frame there. Your program advisor can help give you more detail. So if you'd like to better understand when are the live sessions, I want to get them on my calendar ahead of time. I want to visualize my calendar. Your advisors will be able to send you calendar holds for the date and the time in your time zone. They'll be able to answer any of those logistical questions about the program, any of the course policy questions that you have. For example, how do I earn that certificate of completion? What's the evaluative criteria for the program? Your advisors will be able to help walk you through those policy questions. And then finally, of course, the registration and enrollment process. You'll see there's a lot of activity. We've got that deadline coming up here. A lot of opportunity for you to get the support that you need as you prepare your application materials and you plan to finance your education. They can help walk you through all of that registration information. If you're curious about flexible payment options, special discounts, group enrollment pricing, you'll see all of that available through your academic advisor. They can give you those details as well. So certainly get connected using the link in your screen there or the email address. Get connected with one of our advisors to help walk you through some of these logistical, policy, or registration types of questions that you might have. So Nathan, I'm going to start off with a question that we often see in this program. How much prerequisite knowledge do I need? Now, we know officially there's no prerequisite knowledge required to begin the program, but if folks are just starting out, they don't have a lot of analytics background, is there any math or other technical experience that folks should have before joining this program in order to be successful here?
The great thing about all the assignments is the instructions assume no background. So they don't assume that you know how to do a regression analysis within Excel, for example. And so that is explained in detail. And if you already know how to do it, then you can just move forward and skip that instruction. If you don't, then you can follow those instructions. So there's at no point in the course where you would feel lost. And if you ever did feel lost, which I don't anticipate, there's me or another program leader who can help guide you through wherever you're at. So the great thing is that the course really scales to where you're at in your career. If you're just starting off, it has those instructions. If you're much further along, you can be absorbing those case studies, maybe even more deeply, thinking more deeply about the different initiatives you want to apply at your organization, and then planning out in more detail how you're actually going to execute. And so it works really well wherever you're at in your organization. It's really what you make of it. So if you're just starting out, you make it into that springboard. If you're established, you make it into that opportunity to brainstorm, create ideas, and then ultimately implement something new and exciting at your organization.
Certainly. And that folds really nicely into a question. Is there aid? Yes, there is financial aid. So we invite you to get connected with a academic advisor. They can help walk you through some of the transparent financing options as well as special pricing options and discounts. So please do get connected with an advisor after completing the course. We can connect you to our job market partner, and certainly throughout the program, throughout your interactions with your program leaders and your peers, you're going to be building those professional networks as well. As you're thinking about this program and the value add, building those relationships is a big part, especially if you're looking to get back into the job market or you're switching into this field. Nathan, maybe you can provide a little bit more information about really how that content is delivered, and for folks who are looking to look ahead, if there's anything they can start to take a look at now as they prepare to begin the program.
Yes, so as Marie mentioned, this is a cohort-based program. And so part of that is designed to make sure that you progress through the program in sequence with other individuals to optimize the experience and optimize the learnings from one another. And so content is released from module to module each week. And so module 1 is released the first week, and then module 2 the second week, and so on and so forth, so that you're all learning and going through the experience together at the same time. But with that said, you can go back, and as of now, you have up to a year to go back and look at the content, look at that course, and consume video content, look at assignment submissions, look at discussion boards, whatever it might be. And so that's always an option for you if you want to go back and watch some of those videos. But all the major takeaways for you in implementation at your organization, like the playbook activities and the implementation plan at the end of the course, are going to be submitted via a Word or PDF documents. And those documents I recommend that you download to have down on your end so that you have them with you as you're working day to day, and you can follow that implementation plan. You can look at those brainstormed ideas. And so we designed that playbook to bubble up all the important action items from the course, and then you can take that playbook into your career. So I think that really solves for a lot of the needs that you would have to go back into the course, but you can always go back into the course if you'd like for up to a year.
I'm really glad you brought up the playbook because it's such a big takeaway from this program. In addition to your learning, in addition to that certificate of completion, and in addition to those relationships that you've built throughout your program, you have that tangible playbook of frameworks and methodologies that you can use again and again throughout your analytic endeavors. Certainly another big takeaway, just to give you a little bit more of a behind the scenes look, you will have an entire week as you start the program. We call this orientation week. And it's an entire week where you can get to know the platform. You'll be getting to know your peers, your colleagues. You'll set up your own personal profile. You'll get to know some of the material. So before you dive too deeply in, you'll have that entire sort of week 0, we call it, orientation week, for you to familiarize yourself with the platform and get a head start on the learning. For those of you wondering about how this certificate might fold into larger continuing education credentials, certainly get connected there with an academic advisor. They can help walk you through that. But in terms of the weight of this credential, you can see here, this is a skills-based program, an executive education program. It's 6 weeks. This is not an MBA. So certainly this is not at the caliber of a full-time 2-year program, but you're learning the specialized area of marketing analytics. And certainly this credential is very unique in the world of online learning to have this type of a credential from the Wharton School. This is going to be weighted differently, as you described, than a massive open online course like edX or something. This is branded through the school. This is delivered through the school and is a school-based credential. So you won't be receiving this credential from edX or a third party, but it will be coming directly from the Wharton School. And so with that, you've got some more credibility there as well. So if you're trying to wonder how much leverage does this certificate really get me, hopefully that gives you a little bit more information there. But certainly your academic advisor can help walk you through that a little bit further and help you understand the ways in which past participants have succeeded through this program and how this credential has helped them to springboard into career advancement opportunities as well. I just want to point your attention one more time to the links there in your chat. You can pick up the link there or the email address either way and get yourself connected there with an advisor. We want to make sure you have a place to go for support between now and the time the program begins. And with that, I'm going to invite Nathan for any final words of wisdom that you'd like to leave us with as we close out our time together today.
I just wanted to say I'm excited. Hopefully I see you all in the cohort that's starting shortly. I'll be a program leader, or one of the other program leaders from Wharton will be there. But regardless, you'll have someone there to guide you day by day through that experience. I am very passionate about marketing analytics because I feel like me understanding and going into the world and realm of marketing analytics is what made me so successful in my career. It made me that person in the room that people would turn to and ask, where do we go next? Because I had the data, I had the answers, and I had the predictions. And so that really changed my life, my career, and I'm passionate about enabling other people to attain this skill set. So hopefully it can change your life, the way you look at business, and ultimately the way you're valued at organizations, whether it's your current organization or a future organization you'd like to work for. So thanks so much. And I really look forward to seeing you all.
Thank you, Nathan, again, for being here, staying all the way through the end. And to all of you from around the globe who've joined in to be with us today, thank you as well. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure sharing this with each and every one of you. So with that, we sign off for now with a heartfelt good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day to all of you from around the globe. Thank you again for joining, and we hope to see you back in the program very soon.
Thanks so much, and I'll see you all later.